Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Sundays at the Shed. If you're new here, my name's Claire and this is Willoughby. Every week we bring you a little bit of an update on this garden studio that I've been creating over the last few months. I've been taking you along on the whole journey and today's no exception. I've managed to get something done that I've been meaning to do for so long, and I've got one final job to do. And to be honest with you, this summer house is an absolute tip because it's in the garden. It just gets full of bits on the floor. You just have a new space and you're trying to figure out how to use it. Well, that's all this is. I'm trying to figure out the lighting, and also we're struggling with wind up here at the minute. The sound I don't think has been the best sound the past few days. So just learning, and I'm here to share as many of those learnings as possible. The garden stuff just comes in. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's loads of pollen at the minute from the tree, so I'm gonna have to give it a hoover out, and it is a little bit of a mess today. Whoa, I'm tripping over the hoover. Give that a quick hoover, set a table. I'm gonna fill you in on what I've been up to this week. Feels better already, just having a clean floor. I've been taking some cuttings recently, hardwood, just like to put them in jam jars, and then once they root, I'll pop them in some plant pots for them somewhere safe, so I don't forget where they are. Tissue thing that you put on the wall. I always need tissues. I need to remember to put that up as well. Table out, because I always feel so much better when the table is set. Where is it? Oh, there it is. A new one from Primark. Oh, it's fantabulous. Honestly, sometimes it's just the little things that makes me feel so much better having that set. Still got to figure out what we're going to do with the floor. I'm looking into sort of a metal tread plate here. Figure out how to measure it properly. How much more inviting is that to have a little table there and we're all clean? How dark it is in here though. This area is always absolutely fine, it gets loads of light, but the back, I do need to really think about what I'm going to do back there. I feel a little bit too dark and it's just not great for filming in. Something to consider for the future. One thing I'm really happy with myself about though is the fact that I finally got around to the expanding foam in here. Now is to take off these bits which come off. Whoa. I keep them because they're brilliant for packing things in the loft. Especially seasonal stuff that I've got, loads of plates and crockery and different things for different seasons. Or Christmas baubles, it's a really good, just great little packing alternative. Really boring job, so I'm not going to subject you to watching the whole thing, but I thought you might find it useful to see how easy it is. A tiny bit in, which I couldn't do today because it takes a full day for it to dry. So anyways, let's take that down. You guys, I have to show you this. Hang on. Well, I finish off cleaning off the rest of the expanding foam with the help of my hands and a blade, and I will fill it to make it look nice and cleanly. Because of what I've just seen, I think it is only appropriate to jump to the bit where we do something together. Now, this idea I hope you're really going to love, and I hope you're going to give it a go. On today's What Can We Do With Our Hands, guess what I've got yesterday? I went to the charity shop because I am fully in my bird feeding era. I'm not sure how long it will last because I'm not going to lie. A, it's expensive. Nobody tells you that when you're feeding birds. They eat a lot and I feel bad now not feeding them. And also, number two, they poo everywhere. So I'm trying to figure out where better to put them in the garden so that I can still put my washing out and still enjoy them. So I'm experimenting with feeders. And what I did find out is that not all the birds like to fly from the hanging things. So I bought these things from the charity shop. Utensil holder and a silver tray. Plan on putting them together like this, and we're going to spray paint them. Rust-Oleum chalk outdoor. It's a specific outdoor one, so we're going to do that. Push that into the ground. I'm going to need to find some way, I think, of securing that, because we have a lot of jackdaws and magpies and pigeons, and they are going to knock that over for sure. So come on then, let's go. It's a bit windy today, so I've had to switch to a voiceover. I did initially start to rough up the surface of the tray with some wire wool, which is usually my go-to for things like this. It was
actually just not even making a dent, so I decided to sort of get a sanding block instead, and the sanding block worked much better, just to roughen up the surface a little bit so the spray paint will adhere as best as possible. I will keep an eye on this though to make sure it doesn't start flaking, but in my experience this spray paint, this outdoor one, is usually really good and it stays really solid. I'm going to give it a couple of coats and then try and figure out how to make it sort of secure and stable. I was really having to dodge the wind today though, I don't know if you can see. I didn't want it to spray it right in my face. We're obviously outside, so it's super ventilated. I wouldn't advise doing this inside. And I didn't bother doing inside of the utensil pot. Should I just leave that tray? But then, no. I got over myself and I was like, I want it green. I want the whole thing green, so we're going to do it. I actually really love this colour and I've sprayed a few other things in the garden. I feel like it's going to be my accent colour. I've already got a couple of planters in this colour that came that colour, and then a couple of hanging baskets that I've sprayed that colour. Now, my trusty Dremel that I got for Christmas was perfect for this. Just popped a hole through. And I will get a bolt, I think, at some point, but I've just used a really long nail for now to secure it in place so that when the birds do jump onto it, flap down onto it, or like the pigeons do, plop down onto it, they won't knock it over. Well, that's the plan anyway. Once you've sort of spray painted something, it's always good just to go back and have a good look and see if there's any little gaps or any bits missing. I'm choosing to pop this in the bottom of the garden, mainly because it's under a tree, because it's the shape that it is. I do think I'll have to keep an eye on it when it rains because it might just get full of water. I mean, I have put the little hole in, so that is a little bit of drainage, but if it's right under the tree canopy, it should help to limit it just sitting in an absolute downpour. Do let me know if you think there's a better alternative though. Should I make it like a little umbrella? I didn't actually have much bird food left. I probably should have thought that through, so I'll go and get some more things and plan that out. I don't want to put anything on there that can seed or sprout itself into the bottom of the garden. So there's no sunflower seeds, there's no anything, no bird seeds, literally just things that the birds can eat. And preferably not the puppy. I am going to have to keep him out of the way. I also found a couple of little tapas bowls at the charity shop, so I'm going to use them as little water feeders as well, little water stations. Now it's only fair to share with you why I got so excited when I started sorting out the expanding foam.
Maybe we'll catch them. They found the bird feeder already. But look, the jackdaw's gone away and I think the starling is going to come and find it. Is it brave enough? I actually ran out of food. All I've got is mealworms.
How exciting is that? But anyway, next, what I really wanted to show you was another thing that I've been doing since we last spoke. There's two things that's been bugging me. The fact that I have still had bags and bags of leaves left over that I wanted to make some leaf mulch with, and a whole load of fence posts that were just in a pile doing nothing. Because the weather has been so nice, after work one night this week, I just went down to the bottom of the garden and I made myself a compost spot. I probably need 2 bits, but I didn't have the space or actually enough wood. So we're just doing one and we'll just keep turning it over and it'll be fine. If there's one thing for certain that I found out when working with old fencing, is that you need to put guide holes in before you can drill anything at all. But you will never regret keeping this old wood, because this kind of thing is absolutely perfect for that, because you don't want to be using up fresh, nice wood for something like a compost heap. Now, I did have like a makeshift compost heap here before. I don't know if you remember that we actually moved. And I kept some of the remnants of the soil that was at the bottom, so that's what I'm doing now. I popped it in an old pot and I've just shoved it in on top of the brown material that I have as well, of which I've got loads of. I don't have as much green material at the moment, but I am going to be cutting some grass close by very soon. That is going to add on there. So this is not going to be a perfect potting compost, but it will be really good filling the bottoms of plant pots going forward. And I'm just going to tuck all the extra brown material round the back until I need it.
This is quite exciting news. I had a wisteria that I got for 50p because it was just pretty much dead from Aldi maybe 4 years ago, and I planted it up. It's been in various locations and pots, and this year we have 2 lovely blooms where it is. So the plan is, let me show you a little gap here with a couple of little steps. I'll fancy that up at some point, but I'm thinking of getting some sort of structure here for the wisteria to grow over. Don't know if we need a fancy entrance to the compost heap. I'm not sure that'll stay there forever. I just need somewhere for it to go for now. We have so much tree waste that we need something. Ideally, in this bottom bit of the garden, I'd like chickens, but I'm not quite ready. I've had chickens before and I loved them, but I'm not quite ready to commit or invest. I have just got so many other things going on, and I think it might tip me over the edge of what I'm capable of doing, you know. I don't know. I feel like I just need to consider it a little bit more. I look back on loads of old photographs of my chickens and I loved them. And I know so many of you are like, yeah, get the chickens. And I definitely ask you for confirmation because I really, really want them. But I think in practicalness at this just very moment in time, I felt compelled to make a compost heap out of an old pallet and some fence panels that I'd lying around because they do need to go. I needed to get them out of the way anyway. So I will paint it up at some point as well. I just ran out of the can be bothered. You know, when you've been doing something so much, and I've painted so many things black recently, I just couldn't face painting anything else black again. So when the mood takes me, because it will, I'll come out and I'll finish it off. Let me give you an update though of the sloped area at the side of the summer house. It started off earlier this year, had plants in it. I moved all the plants over to, or lots of them, over to this side of the garden to relocate it because we wanted to make space. Half a day going through all of my pots. I had loads of pots out up on the drive or in other parts of the garden. I built this raised bed from scrap wood from the fence. Because we did that and we took there was a whole fence across there, it left me with loads of extra wood, which has meant that I could do that and I could do the compost heap as well. Hydrangea that's looking a bit sad. A hosta that's doing quite well. That was in a pot. Probably could have even split that and got two, but didn't get round to it. Another hydrangea that was in a pot. That's a butterfly bush that was in a pot. Don't know if it's in quite a sunny enough spot, so we'll have to see if that one works. Ferns, fern. I had them over there, so just literally, they were in here and I've put them in there and I've lifted them back and put them over here. This is catmint, which again, I don't know if it's quite sunny enough, but we'll see. I just chopped it out of another one, and then that's another magnolia that I got for my birthday. Hazel tree, hazelnut, and I'm going to use hazel for weaving and stuff like that, so that's going to be hazel. That's a shrub, I can't remember its name, but it's got really pretty yellow flowers. And then I've got a little mini willow there growing as well, and what we're going to do with that as well is we're going to coppice it. So we're going to let it grow this year, chop it right down, and next year it'll give us lots of thin stems. And there is another willow growing, remember the one I chopped down? I chopped one down like to actually make room for the summer house, and it's re-sprouted. Train that, I think, to come out here and up so that I can again coppice it, because all of those lovely long stems will become weavable. This is just stuff that had planted it and self-seeded itself. I just can't tell you how much better that looks now. So I've got my little raised bed area, and this, considering there was nothing there last month, I'm very chuffed. I would really like to paint the shed at some, maybe like a lovely dark brown, and then but I cannot face doing anything else with it at the minute. It's just taken up so much time and so much energy and so much money. Look at that blue sky. Can we just talk about how gorgeous that is? Lots of what I've done this time around, if I just want to encourage you that I am not I'm a dig holes and shove stuff in kind of girl. I don't know a lot. I don't know necessarily the names of things. I've learned some stuff over the years, but the best way that I've learned, and you know what's encouraged me, is just to dig a hole, put something in if you like it. One thing I do which I really enjoy and appreciate, is I do use Google Images a lot. If you're not sure what to grow, where to grow it, use Google Images. It's your best friend. Take a picture of the image in Google Images. It'll tell you what that plant is. It'll tell you where to grow it, what you can do, and how you can have it. And basically, if you're in a shop and you see something you like and it's in your price range, you're not guessing then as to whether it's going to work in your spot. You don't always know until you give it a go. It's quite difficult to film this without actually getting the neighbours in, which isn't very fair of me to film, so I try really hard. But I've still got some of this split hazel fencing because I do have some up there which stops the dog just from coming down whenever he wants. I would like to build a whole platform patio, a bigger one at some point. We just don't have the funds at the moment, so we do it in stages, temporary, so he can't just come and go whenever he wants to. And then, like I said, that split hazel there, that big fence, is gonna come here, but I need to get the platform sorted for that first. Little gap here, if you can see. Yeah, at the back here,
there is a little gap that the dog could get out, so I need to sort that out somewhere. I've got all extra scraps of wood, not sure. I do have some fence panels here that I can make myself a little makeshift fence, which is what I think I'm going to do at some point. I do now, though, as a matter of kind of urgency before it rains. We've had so much dry weather, so this is not a problem. But I do now as a matter of urgency, because I haven't painted the shed yet and sealed it, but I will do, and I might even try and get that done before the end of winter, so that we at least like kind of weatherproof it a bit, because this is a ridiculously windy spot. We're at the top of a really big hill at the top, nearly the highest part of the city that I live in. To get some, I went for these because I like the look of them, but I do need to get some fly mesh as well to go on the other side, so that when I cut a hole out of the wall, I'm not sure whether to put it, you're supposed to put one at the top and one at the bottom so that the air flows through. Mesh for it, which you can just buy for a few quid off Amazon. It's like a fly mesh that I'm going to sandwich in. Might spray them a different colour. Undecided. Don't need to worry about it today. Just need to figure out a time when I'm going to get them on. I'm kind of like hoping we get some rain soon, so that it can help me decide what I need to do, what I still need to do to make it. The doors are definitely not watertight. I think I'm going to have to get them properly glazed before winter hits, because these windows are so rickety. Have a look. Flimsy. I'd be surprised if they, yeah, I mean, I could have done a little bit of a better job fitting them, because I fitted them, but they are super flimsy. So I think I really want to try and get that sorted before winter, but I think that's going to be like at least a 200 quid job. Just can't do that right now. We'll save up. Now everything has to be done straight away, right? And then the doors obviously need fitting a bit better. I shoved them on in haste and excitement, so we'll get that sorted too. And then it did bring me though a super cute little electric fire here, so ready for a cold autumn wintry day. Can't actually believe I'm talking about autumn and winter already, but just, yeah, one of the things that I really want to be able to do is to create seasonal looks in here. Just the energy it's taken so far to get this far has been quite substantial. So we just have to do things over here. We do things in stages, a bit at a time. The studio is really taking shape, and I am finally feeling, I think, at home here, which is great. Well, that is it for Sunday at the shed today. I do hope you had a little bit of inspiration of something you could do with your hands. I hope it gave you a little bit of confidence to just give stuff a go. You can spend ages waiting to have the money, the skills, the time, and you just don't know whether you can do it for yourself if you don't just give it a go. Goodbye from the garden shed. I will see you next time.